In America, they'd call him a snag, a sensitive, new age guy, macho and caring. He has the brains of an entrepreneur, the muscles of a gymnast, and the heart of a family man. And he's a movie star. I'm delighted to have as my guest the popular Sunil Shetty with his charming wife, Mana.
Just let your thoughts, your dreams unfold. Let's talk of love, of tales untold. Speak so I can see your soul.
Sunil, thanks so much for coming. I'm delighted to have you over today.
My pleasure, absolutely my pleasure.
This is the first time we're meeting.
Yes.
Do you want my first impressions?
Definitely.
Okay, here is this good-looking guy, normal, well brought up, quite unfilmy for a movie star. How do you keep your bearings in this extraordinary world?
Thank you, first of all, but I guess that is because of my upbringing. I come from a very small community, first of all, called the Buns, and also from a very small family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we live a very, very simple lifestyle. My father, my mother, even today, are extremely simple. I mean, he's uneducated, came to Bombay at a very, very young age, and he made it on his own. So I guess all the struggle which he's gone through, he's let those experiences out to me, and it's made a difference.
You've always had financial security in that sense. You come from a business background. What is it that you were looking for? Why did you decide to become an actor?
First, as a child, I wanted to be a cricketer. That was my ultimate dream, and that's
What
all
happened?
I did. I guess somewhere down the line, I wasn't as good as to make it to the national team, but that's the only thing I did. After which I moved on, and then I was dead sure that I wanted to become a martial artist, and that's all I wanted to do.
That's why.
So I was on a health trip, and then suddenly I realized, no, you need to do business too. So I didn't want to be a professional otherwise, so I shifted to the restaurant industry, did my catering, and wanted to do business. A few years at business and wanted to do something else. So I guess basically I'm someone who's not content with what I'm doing, and I keep wanting to try. And when it came to films, I did get an offer, and I said, one life to live, give it your all. And when I first came in, I thought, Christ, I'm going to make it. I've got a physique, and everybody thinks they're God once they, before they get in, and they say, I think I'm going to be the next Bachchan. But once they come in, and once you come in, you realize, Christ, it's not that way. I'm bad. And there were a whole lot of things I also realized I was bad at. I tried, and fortunately and unfortunately for me, I mean, the film did okay, but I wasn't appreciated. I was like, he's bad news. Doesn't know how to act. He's not right. He's best for the hotel industry. I think that got me ticking, and I said, no way, I'm going to stay put.
I'm going to show them.
Yeah. In the beginning, I was hurt. People kept passing remarks at me, not really knowing me as a person, and went on saying things about me, and that hurt. But I guess I had a very strong family, a very loving wife, and I guess that made all the difference.
So you've taken this on as a challenge, it seems to me.
Yes, definitely. Because it wasn't my trade. I didn't know nothing about it. They said I was a bad dancer, I worked at it. They said, you don't have the right voice. Yes, I don't have a bass, but I get up 4 or 5 in the morning, go do my dubbing, so there's a little bit of bass in it, and a lot more warmth now. They said I couldn't act, I tried to act. There were a whole lot of things they said I couldn't do, which I wanted to prove I could, and I guess today I'm in a position where I'm okay. I mean, people say he's pretty good now, he's improving.
Are you here for the long term then?
No, I don't think so. A few more years of appreciation, and on a high. Once I'm on a high, I'll get out.
What is this?
No, because I want to. I want to. I love the industry. I'm going to remain here as a producer, maybe make films and be involved in it, because it's given me too much, and I love this place. And so if I hit a high, in the sense a pretty decent high, where I'm steady for a year, 2 years, and so I want to get out when I'm wanted and not thrown out.
This limelight is very addictive.
It is. I agree it is.
Would you be able to lead a normal existence after this?
Yeah, I hope to.
Do you really think you can?
Yeah, I can. Definitely. I mean, I won't miss the industry. I definitely won't miss the industry.
How can you say that?
That's the kind of person
You feel that, do you?
Yeah. Today, the only thing I miss, today when I watch a cricket match, I cry 15 times in between every, break maybe. every time I see someone hit 100 or one of the Indians take a great catch, because that's something I always wanted to do. I'm emotionally attached to that game.
When you ever leave the industry, I hope you don't, then you'll watch a film and then you'll cry 15 times. You'll say, oh God, I could have done that.
No,
that
but
shot.
I'd be creatively involved in the industry.
So
With
at
good
the
friends.
heart of you, is there an entrepreneur or is there an actor?
An entrepreneur, a businessman, definitely. I'm just about learning to act and settling in.
What are you enjoying about this industry? What are you enjoying about your work?
I mean, this is a passport to any place, wherever you want to go to. You meet people.
That's what you enjoy best, is it?
Yes, yes.
Are you surprised to be viewed as a sex symbol?
I don't think I'm a sex symbol.
You're viewed
Am
as a
I?
sex symbol.
Maybe because of the physique and things like that, but yeah, I am surprised.
Mana, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks, definitely my pleasure. Thank you.
I believe yours is the real life love story.
It is to a certain extent.
Tell
yes.
me about it. How did it begin?
His version or my version?
Who should
Mine
we
is
go-
more romantic.
And then I must have yours first. And then I must have yours after that.
Well, we met at a party. I think my sister played a very important role because they were in the same group, and Sunil saw me, I think, several times before we actually met, and he insisted that I attend this one party where both of us were going to actually meet. And I was quite wary because why should I come to a party when I don't even know his friend or don't even know him? Sunil had organized the works.
He planned this.
Of course he did.
No, I
Yes, you did.
mean, kind of, because I wanted to meet her, and
Why did you want to meet her?
because I liked her. I thought she was very pretty, very elegant, and yeah, there was something about her which was different. And so I got a friend of mine to, have his party, so that she could be there. And I guess that's the first time when we actually met.
And you were unsuspecting.
I just played along, I think. I mean, I want to meet him and, find out what this guy was really all about.
You were curious about him.
Definitely.
Okay,
I mean, he was known then,
Known in what sense? You weren't in films.
There's this place called Pastry
Pastry
Palace
Palace.
at Warden Road where we used to all hang around and things like that. So there's this age where you all want to be all macho and things like that. Buttons open, motorcycle, tight jeans and the works. So known in the sense I used to hang around there, so people used to think they're brats. I was very hardworking. I was doing everything in life very early. So it's not that I was a brat, but I gave the impression of being a brat.
Okay, and I could imagine a lot of curiosity amongst
Yes.
everybody for this.
Yes. And then we went for this motorbike ride.
The same night.
Same night. I mean, it was like, go, go. I was like, God, what's wrong with all you
Everybody's
guys?
saying to go.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knew about it, I mean, they did.
And then what happened?
Yeah, okay. Go on.
That's why I asked you, which version do you want?
No,
Would have a
see,
bit
the
of both.
motorcycle bit was there. I had asked a friend of mine to get a motorcycle, which he did, and but I didn't know how to ride that one.
You don't be silly.
No, I mean I knew how to
you
ride a
have to never
motorcycle,
follow.
but it was an automatic Honda, and he gave me the keys at the last moment and said go, and I said okay, and
I
then
know
I
what he
asked her whether
kept
she wanted
doing
to go
right
for a
through
ride.
right through the ride.
No,
He
no.
kept braking and I kept hitting against it. I was like, oh
No,
my
that-
God, and
that's
this
all-
guy wouldn't even say
see,
sorry.
I never
So
did
it's-
agree to this version because I was never that way. It was only that it was a 5-speed Honda, and I didn't know where the first gear was, the second was the third one, because I always rode a Bullet. So it was the other way around. So every time I hit first, I thought I hit first, I hit the second, so it stopped, it went slow. So I was kind of getting used to the bike. I didn't know where the key went, I didn't know where the ignition was. So it was a slight mess up which he misunderstood. I mean, I remember my friend, the guy who had the motorcycle, he was on the first story, and I was down and we were trying to organize it, and I kept telling him, where does the key go? Where does it start? What happens? What do I do next? That kind of thing. So you're like, yeah, she keeps insisting I did it intentionally, and I keep saying I didn't.
And you still
what
haven't
about adjusting the
resolved
mirror?
it.
What about adjusting the
doubting
mirror?
my intentions.
What is this?
He was adjusting the mirror so
Yeah,
he could see
that
my
of course,
face.
naturally. You don't expect me to look at the traffic up front and.
I expect you to look at the traffic when you
Exactly, exactly.
No, what I mean is those in between looks and.
So you adjusted it perfectly.
It's
Yeah,
so
like
you
that-
could
that
get
I
major
did.
eye-to-eye contact.
That I did. That I did.
So you were actually emotionally involved for about 9 years before you got married?
Before we
right,
got
yeah.
married, yeah.
You
About
are
to
the
me,
daughter
yeah.
of the famous architect Imre
Right.
Kadri, and you come from the conservative family, as you were just
Exactly,
saying. So how
exactly.
did the families feel about it?
I mean, they were upset initially, but then mom never kept questioning me about anything. And she kept telling me, it's not going to work because of the community. People will say this, people will say that, and things like that. And so I said, fine. Then there came a stage when I told Mom, ki, you know, if I do get married, I'd be ending up messing someone else's life, which is not fair. So if you don't want me to get married, fine, that's the way it's going to be. Because I would never go against my parents' wishes.
And during the 9 years, did you keep meeting his parents?
Never.
You never, you met them
did, she did.
I mean, at
That's because
functions and
no,
stuff.
not functions. We were operating with Mischief, and she used to design for
Okay,
the store.
yeah.
So every time they came in, she was there, and there was this Cold War.
Yeah, but I mean, there was never any conversation or
but,
anything.
You know, she'd smile, and Mom and Dad would look
And I was
her
like,
up
oh
and
my
down.
God, it's really,
You know, as to whether this girl is right or wrong or whatever.
Or I'd just
you know?
go into the changing room and hide. I mean, it was scary.
And I wasn't going to talk to my parents about it.
What do you mean you weren't going to talk to them about
I wasn't going to talk to them about it. I made it very clear to her that I'm not going to go against their wishes. And see, one thing I knew for a fact, that I've been brought up with so much love and affection, it's unbelievable. I mean, the mere thought of it, if I could give even 10% of that to my children, I think my children would be the happiest kids ever. Really? And yeah, tremendous. Sisters, parents, family, immediate family. It's meant so much to me. And so I wasn't going to hurt them at any cost. But at the same time, I knew that it would work. Because if it worked with me, if it worked for me, and I believe that she's the right girl for me, they would one day believe that she was the right girl for me too. And that's exactly how it happened.
So you never actually went and told them that I want to marry her?
Nope. Only when my parents asked me to, you know, break away from the relation at some time, it's not going to work. Not that she's not a good girl or things like that, but you come from two different worlds altogether. Did I say, then I wouldn't want to harm someone else also, you know, mess someone else's life. And
But Mana, I still want to ask you, there must have been times when you must have despaired.
I did. I did feel lonely, insecure, very insecure.
Yeah.
It was very difficult, but then I knew that once Sunil had committed and he had said, wait. And the thing is, I realized, I mean, I was going to marry this guy come what may. I was going to wait for him if I had to, because why would I compromise for somebody else? I mean, you know, he's the guy I want. And like I said, I had a fabulous support system. You know, so half the battle was won. I think my parents just asked me, Mana, are you sure this is what you want? I said yes, and that was it.
there was a time when we thought, at one time maybe we would have to run away and get married.
This is what I wanted. You never thought of eloping.
No, we did, but I didn't want to hurt
Yeah, but we
anybody.
didn't want to do that.
We'd
because
rather
they would
hurt
never
ourselves
accept
than
us that
anybody
way.
else.
They would
yeah.
never accept me.
Really?
But when it happened, it just happened.
Yeah. I was going to Uti and she said she wanted to drop me, and I said fine. The very next moment Dad says, you're going for your first film, I'll come to drop you to the airport. And Mom was in America. And I was like, and I didn't know how to call her and tell her, but I told her, see, Dad's going to be there. So what are you going to do? She says, no, I'll see you from afar, and that's it. But my dad, being very smart, as soon as he landed there, he said bye, and he knew she was there. I said bye, and I moved off because the situation was too tense for me. I didn't know how to handle it. I went, not knowing what was going to happen. Next thing I know is she calls me from my house and telling me that Dad wants to talk to you. And everything had worked out, because when they drove back in the car, I don't know what happened in that 45 minutes. It just clicked and he spoke to me.
It just happened. I mean, I was just so comfortable with him. I was so petrified because, I mean, it took me 9 years to actually, you know, get to this stage where I could just meet him at an airport, get into a car with him and have a conversation with him and land up in Sunil's house and have coffee with him.
And then he wanted her back again.
Yeah,
in the
and he wanted me
evening.
there
She was
every
there,
evening.
So they called, and I was shooting for 25 days. My first film, I was nervous. But at the same time, I wanted to run home because she's home. And that's the first time she had come home. And then my mom comes in, and then again all three of them are one. So I was like, what's happening? Yeah. So it was like a good break in the industry, come back home, and it was a great break.
And it all worked out.
Yeah, and then I guess immediately we got married also.
Between the two of you, did the fact that you both belong to different religions ever concern you?
No.
No, never.
I think we
It's
were
never come
brought up
between
that
either.
way, yeah.
Oh yeah, no. My parents were only scared about whether we'd be able to adjust with the different lifestyles.
You know, whether I would adjust to the community and to the kind of people they were, and the kind of style of living. So I think it was more that than me, you know, which I realized.
But did you ever discuss about the children, like when the children grow up, how, in what religion will you bring them up? How will you teach
No,
Islam?
never. Indian, absolutely Indian. That's what I believe in. Absolutely. that thought doesn't even come into
We've
my
never
mind
spoken.
now.
Actually, we
Never
haven't even
spoken
really
about
thought
it. Never
about
thought
it.
about
Yeah.
it.
I think
you
that's
know.
my upbringing too, because I mean, mom and dad are totally different. I mean, dad's a Muslim, mom's a Hindu.
That's also
But
true.
we've never, I mean, dad, Touchwood, has never let us feel, you know, that we have to like decide on a particular religion. We've just followed what, you know, just came to us. And nobody's really, you know.
But were you given
Never.
at all any teachings in religion as a child?
No, I wasn't very religious as a child. I think I am more now.
Did you have any apprehensions really about his joining films?
I was a little scared, yeah, definitely.
What were you scared about?
Just about the glamour, and I mean, he is a very humble person, no doubt about that. But I was just worried whether it would get to him. You know, it generally does.
It normally does.
It does. So I was scared about that. Then, I mean, most of the time I am a single parent. I mean, I am. You know, Sunil spends fabulous time with them when he's there. But a lot of times, like you said, he's not there. Just all that put together was a little wary. But where, if you talk about our relationship and about our trust, I wasn't wary at all.
But you know, you, Sunil, you belong to what my friend Rishi Kapoor calls the Banyan Brigade. Macho, tough guys, you know, the He-Man, body-conscious image. Are you as tough as you appear?
Nope.
I mean, physically, yes. But otherwise, no. No, I'm very soft and very touchy, very extremely emotional.
Very sensitive.
If there's a moment that's very, I mean, I'm really happy, something very touching, and my eyes go moist.
As I said, it was
Otherwise, no.
totally deceptive, his look.
I can
Yes.
cry at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
I mean,
What
they
makes
might
you cry?
just
daughter.
about anything.
His
Just
daughter.
about anything.
So now, I mean, you've been married how many years?
6.
6 years.
We've been married 15 years. I think.
15 years, actually. What makes it work for both of you?
And love, of course. The committed love.
See, in the beginning, it is love. It's everything. Then comes the stage when you become parents,
Yeah.
and then it's those children who keep you together.
The bonding.
You know, it's like life. I mean, now we're parents, and I keep telling Akib, what did we ever do in those
does,
you know, 10 years and 11 years when we didn't
Without
have children,
them, yeah.
without Ahan or without Athiya. You know, so I guess
And it's so beautiful
life
because they're
in
just
its own
extensions
way
of us, you know. So
keeps the marriage together, keeps it going. There's so much to look forward to. I mean, today it may be a house, tomorrow it may be something else. You know, that excitement
and the sharing
always
is there. you
Yeah,
know, it's,
and then
it's a constant.
you
How
have to-
romantic are you both?
I'm very romantic.
You're very romantic.
very
See, you also
romantic.
very romantic?
No.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not very
I mean, not like,
expressive.
I mean, romantic he is, yeah, come on. But not, I mean, he won't like send me flowers at the drop of a hat or a card. Occasions, yeah, definitely we go for these dinners and stuff like that. But I think I'm very romantic if you compare.
Yeah, if you compare,
Yeah.
then she's very, very romantic. But I don't know, maybe because of the way I've been brought up. I'm not very expressive.
But
I
that's
mean a
true.
lot.
You said you're brought up in a world so full of love.
Yeah, love, but
Unspoken.
you know,
I mean, they're not very
unspoken love.
verbal about it.
It's like dad. If you appreciate something, it's not ki, wow, you know, you've done wonders and things like that. But even if it's a small match or a cricket match or anything I did when I was a kid, he'd be there watching. For anything and everything, he'd be there.
So you feel it's only in the presence that you don't
Yes,
have to say
yes.
it.
No.
I mean, you have to say it, but that's the
He
way
does
it
say
is.
it. He does say it. I mean, I still get these butterflies in my stomach, and I still go to the airport to fetch him. We're still hugging every time he leaves, you know. So that sharing, that bonding.
Sunil says that you really pamper him.
Oh, I do.
He has gone on record as saying that. That's
Right.
why he couldn't live away, couldn't go to the
Right.
States, couldn't study there because he missed your pampering. How do you pamper
I think I do what any woman would do who's in love. I mean, I just spoil him when he comes back home. I'm there for him whenever he needs me to be there.
More than being just there, it's.
I think I
I mean,
read his
she knows
mind.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
she knows
I know exactly what he
I
wants.
want. I mean, I don't have to tell her that I need this. It's there.
Oh, he just
You
says,
know
Jan,
what
you
I
haven't
mean?
done this, and I say, oh my God.
It's
I haven't
already been
this."
done.
Yeah.
You know,
Really?
she reads my mind, and I mean, I myself am someone with very basic needs and things like that, but she reads my mind absolutely.
I mean, I know
So
what
I
makes
guess-
him comfortable
yeah.
and what, you know, he'd like.
Does he pamper you in return?
He does, in his own way, he does. He makes me feel wanted, which is very important. Like he wants me with him all the time. Even if it's like going for a meeting to the restaurant, or he's just going, for an opening. He says, why don't you come with me? We can. His way of spending more time with me. I'm involved,
shooting.
With everything.
Everything.
I think it's been a pleasure, a delight to talk to both of you, and I wish
Our
you
pleasure too. Thanks.
wonderful happiness, a wonderful life ahead. Thank you for this
Thank
rendezvous.
you.